Welcome to the Lodge Lockdown with your host, Frank Cronog.
And we are recording.
And we are semi-live.
Hello!
Semi-alive. Welcome, my friends, to the Lodge Lockdown. We are here and we are raring to go. And what a amazing night it already is. And I think it's going to continue. Right. First of all, hold on a minute. I've got breaking news. Breaking news, everybody. This just in. It was just handed to me by myself.
Your assistant. It was from your assistant.
Yeah,
my one. Yeah. Thanks, Valerie. The bulk buying, ladies and gentlemen, of toilet paper is now on the decline. So let's have a round of applause for that.
Hey! That is definitely something to be happy about.
Knowing that, that's right. So that's great news. Every cloud has a silver lining, as they say. Yeah.
The best news of the week.
That's probably the best news ever. Yeah. So no more panic buying. Now, before we go into all of what we're going to be talking about tonight, let's introduce our beautiful friends here. We have, and they're all from season 3, by the way. Well, one is from season 3, but also has worked with David before in the wonderful Mulholland Drive. So there's a little exception to the rule there. But let's tell you who they are. My beautiful friends here. One is in spirit at the moment. Hopefully she'll come back. We have the beautiful, adorable Sarah Jean Long.
Hey, didn't we have a drink together?
We did!
Probably. Lovely Sarah there. And next up is I don't know. I can't find words. I'm getting quite emotional at the moment. I'm filling up here. I'm filling up with emotion.
Does Valerie need to help you?
Kathleen Deming, for God's sake.
Can you see my headshot?
Yes,
I can see your headshot.
Okay, I'm still working on it, guys. I will be. I'm right here with you. Okay, let's keep going. Hey, you never know when Kathleen Deming's gonna appear. It's not always on me. You know, it might be on the other whims of the winds. Okay.
If you walk through my door, I will be legitimately freaked out, though. Like, that will scare the crap out of me if that happens right now.
What's your address?
The funny thing is, like,
we're recording live. We'll
I
find
feel
out.
like I don't even need to say it. You probably already know it. Like, that's how creepy that would be.
Yeah, I'm
And
right
we
here,
have-
guys. Okay, I'm
God help
coming.
us. And we
God help us.
I'm trying to keep this together, man. And we have
My brain's trying to stick to the script, man.
I'm trying to stick to the script. I haven't got much of the script, by the way. Most of it's ad-libbed. But it's just a few pointers to get me from A to B, if I ever get there. We have the one and only, and I love saying his name, it's only Mr. Christoph Zajek Denik, for God's sake.
What's up,
It's a
y'all?
great name. Hi, Christoph.
Hello.
I never get tired of saying
You
it.
walked in my door right now, I'd be so freaked out.
I would be too, actually. But I would also, I don't know that I would be able to help you out with Zoom because it's confusing. Like, so I don't know that. I'd have a drink.
Zoom,
I'd have a drink with you though. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'll
That'd be
definitely.
great. Okay.
That would be mad. Yeah,
Yeah, that seems to be a.
that would be a wild night.
That seems to be a.
Last but no means least, well, not quite, but certainly the penultimate lady here is the incredible songstress herself, the radiant, beautiful Rebecca Del Rio.
Rebecca.
A lovely introduction. Thank you, Frank. That's so sweet.
So much fun. Yeah.
Great to be here.
Beautiful.
Great to see you all. And of course, how can I forget my wonderful assistant here, my partner in crime, and an amazing doll creator as well, which you'll get to see shortly. It's only Millie Moo.
Millie,
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like in tears. I'm so
like,
emotional.
of course.
I am a huge fan. It's like, I was so happy that you were going to be back on. I'm like, oh my God.
I was happy to hear that you were going to be here.
We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Wonderful. I'm so honored.
Right.
And I always
now,
thought you were blonde, but you know what I mean? The whole
Yeah, I had
world
an
was taken
accident
by
halfway.
surprise when y'all see us in living
I had a heat
color.
dying accident, so I'm not blonde
You know,
anymore.
my daughter does that too. You never know what color it's going to be.
we've gone through a few different hair colors actually. Yeah.
Me, I keep dyeing my hair gray and it keeps growing back in brown, so I don't know what's up with that.
That's reverse engineering. Yeah. Do you know what we're going to be talking about tonight? Well, I'm going to tell you. Coming up is our two topics tonight are time. What does time mean to you? Why does it sometimes go fast when you're having fun and go tediously slow when you're fed up? So we're going to try and talk about that. Also, we're going to be talking about phobias and what phobias you have. So let's hear. We want to hear what you fear most. And I'll be asking 5 random questions for one of my guests.
Ew.
Wait, only
And also-
one?
Only one? Each
Just
one, right?
Just one.
5 questions for one person?
5 questions for one person.
I don't think
Random
I.
question. They are random.
I'm scared.
And okay. And also, I'll be reading out "Is That a Fact?", which I'll be giving you one mind-blowing random fact from my selector machine for you to ponder on. So
I
yeah,
love
that's
random
what
facts.
that's what we're going to be talking about. Yeah. So first of all, time. What do you make of it? Well, of course, we all have to live by it. The whole world is governed by it. We have to make appointments by it. We wake up by it. We go to bed by it. Well, what does it all mean? Well,
I
let's
think
talk.
I feel like we can wrap this up in like 1 or 2 minutes, actually. Like, this is a pretty simple, this is like a question that, through the years, it's been answered, man. We can just figure it out.
Well, for the past, for me anyway, for since the quarantine started, the whole time as a human concept thing has really hit me because, since I have nothing to wake up for anymore, I'm the kind of person that goes out. So I don't wake up.
Oh dear.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I quarantine with my family, so they get so angry at me, like, why are you still awake? It's time to do this, it's time to do that. I'm like, why? It doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't got anywhere to be. So, time has been passing very weirdly for me these past couple months. I don't know if y'all have felt the same. I just don't feel any need to, get up and go, So it's been getting back to the normal, to waking up on time and doing all that. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm like, having that freedom, not to care about time is amazing. I love it. I don't have to look at the clock, like my whole house full of clocks, the endless ticking.
Clocks.
That's so interesting because mine is actually the opposite.
Yeah.
The complete opposite. Since the pandemic and since I've been in self-quarantine since March 17th, I have done nothing but wake up early and work and clean and organize and try to figure out how to make a living. And I'm telling you, it's been time. And then all of a sudden, I look at the clock and it's 11 p.m. and I still have so much to do. And I wake up, I don't even need an alarm clock. I wake up at 7:30 in the morning or 6 in the morning. And it's just, I better do this. I'm looking at my place right now. And this is a little studio I have right now, but there's so much to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it drives me insane. Time for me is literally like the song, ticking, ticking, ticking into the future.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like, it could be a double, like an answer to that second question. That's a phobia for me. Wasting time is a phobia.
Yeah. I
And
feel that.
also, not having enough time. Isn't that
Yeah.
something? No,
Yeah.
I wish that I could sleep. Oh my God, I wish I were you. I wish I could just never wake up. I just like sleep and then just, figure it out. But I
Yeah.
can't. I cannot. Something in my mind it's like, nope, you have big responsibility. You
Yeah.
have a lot of things to do. So I actually wish that we would go back to normal where I would wake up and I would go to work, or I would, have things to do outside of here, because this never gets done. There's a ton of things to do still. Anyway, I
Yeah.
just thought I'd throw that in. It was a complete opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrid.
I prefer to dream, stay awake. Sure.
Oh, anyway.
I feel like
Maybe
I've been
we could both meet in the
experiencing.
middle.
I feel like
Yeah.
I've been experiencing a little bit of both of yours, because when
I think I'm coming in. Sorry to interrupt, Krista.
Oh, yeah, I can
oh
see.
no, go ahead.
Sorry. I can
Did
see.
were you gonna say? You all good? Oh.
Go.
Let me
So
on my phone.
I
I see this.
Hey,
You see me? Where do you see
Yeah.
me? Do you see me on my phone?
we can see.
No,
you.
Oh, okay. I'm on my phone. Look, I'm looking at you guys. Okay.
We've got a tulpa now, Frank.
I can see your
Okay, let me
picture.
I'll put this here and try not to move.
success.
Yes.
So, Christoph,
See me?
you're
Can you see
in
me?
the
See,
in
Millie,
between.
look at my hands.
I can see your hands.
Okay. How's the lighting? Because it's very minuscule on my phone, and I've
Yeah,
got
you
like
look
3
great.
computers.
You
You
look great. Pal.
We could,
Look great.
yeah, you look great.
I can't
Two-
see Kathleen. I can only see her still picture.
No, she's here. She's come up in another
Oh.
one. Frank.
Oh, so should
Yeah,
I
I
come
can
out of
see
this
the
one?
picture.
I'm on one
I'm
on
on
the
my phone, so I
computer.
can't see both.
I
things.
can I get rid of your
Fine
other
like
one?
this.
Am I still causing problems here?
You still on a
Fix it
still.
in post, man. No,
No.
Kathleen, I can get rid of the other one if you want me to.
All right, you do that. Well, I can X the one out on the computer.
Oh,
Oh,
I
you got
hope I
one on the
don't.
computer.
There you go. Oh, now we can't hear her.
Bravo.
Hang on.
Oh,
Can I?
welcome to live TV.
Oh, she's
my gosh.
connecting. She's connecting to her audio. It's okay. She'll be back in.
It's been it's actually been saying that for a while on hers.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
She has-
Christoph,
she has her audio. She has her audio slashed
Muted.
out. I can see. I can see in her little window.
Kathleen, you've got an audio thing you need at the bottom. You need to
There's a
press.
button here. It says ask to unmute. So I've just asked her.
Okay.
There you go.
there she is.
You know what? You're
Hello.
my favorite roommate of all times already. You live right here. Wow.
And that's
Okay, I'm gonna remember this.
and that's our show. It's been great seeing all you
Thank
guys.
you.
Take
Bye
care.
now.
Have a great rest of the year. We'll talk to you.
The whole show was about the build-up to seeing Kathy. Where is Kathy? That was the yeah. So it's good to see you, Kathleen. Lovely to see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great. This is fantastic. We're all here now, which is brilliant.
All right, start recording.
Go.
Christoph, what were you saying about? I think you were talking about you were coming in with something about time.
Yeah, so I feel like I've experienced both what Sarah and Rebecca have said that they were experiencing, because I think when this landed in our laps, I feel like there's a lot of time that just you have to process stuff as a human, and the news is interesting whether it's good or bad, and I feel I know that I had to absorb it because I like to know what's going on. And I guess I try to form my own opinions on, the information that I think is factual and from my friends and people. I've known quite a few people who have COVID, and it's definitely really scary. And I don't know, because of my dwarfism, there's a chance that I am at a higher risk. My immune system is potentially compromised in some ways. And so I'm just not taking any chances whatsoever. So I just kind of really had to figure out what that meant for me. So, I think dealing with stress and definitely anxiety, this has not been an unanxious time for me. But then I shifted my focus and I started to take a motion graphics course, and so I was really heavily invested in that. I started a podcast last year, and there was some time where I needed to figure out what I was actually like how I was going to reformat that. And I definitely went through some times where I was maybe perceivably wasting time, and then other times where I was really, really productive and really learning stuff and nose to the grindstone. And sorry, Rebecca, my bathroom didn't get cleaned as much as it probably should have. But it did get clean. It did get clean. I don't live in filth. It's okay. We're good. But yeah, I think it's, I think change just takes time, and it means that you have to reevaluate, and that's what it was for me anyway. Like, that was my experience.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christoph.
Kathleen, have you got two things open? Have you got two Zooms running?
Possibly.
Because I'm getting a lot
Stand
of
by.
feedback. I'm getting a lot of feedback from you.
Okay, all right. Okay, I understand. All right.
So if you keep the one with you're on now with your face on, and close the other one. It should be really cool.
Hold on. Stand by. I actually have one.
What's
Okay.
your
Don't
podcast?
get rid of the one you're on now, though.
What's your podcast?
I wasn't getting feedback until you just told me to close everything.
Oh, is that fixed?
I think.
Okay. The only thing on is my phone.
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah,
all right now.
I heard that as well.
Yeah, I thought that, and I didn't want to interrupt Christoph while he was talking.
I know.
It's coming over quite loud.
What's your podcast, Christoph?
My podcast is called I'm Kind of a Big Deal.
Yeah.
And it's about it's about my life and other people's lives with dwarfism. So I talk about the successes, the struggles, the funny, the day-to-day. It's not scripted. And I've been interviewing friends and just really interesting people who I feel like I've felt so much shame about being little, and there's been so many times where I haven't been able to talk about it. And so a friend of mine just, had suggested that put this out there and just see what it is. And I have come to find that just about every other little person that I've encountered or is friends of mine have experienced the exact same thing. They've not wanted to connect with little people. They've not wanted to put themselves out there. They don't want to not rock the boat, but they don't want people to feel sorry for them. It's not like we're looking for people to feel sorry for us, but just to have a conversation about what it is like and the rejection and the stuff that just, it is funny. And there are things that are, incredible that little people do. And there's also discrimination that we experience. And I think, it's not a focus on, my goal is to create a bridge between the little people community and average height people, because I've dated people who have never asked me about my dwarfism, which I've always thought was interesting. And I think if it's just a forum where we can open up a conversation and have people talk about their experiences, it's an awareness, machine, hopefully.
It's amazing how isolated you can feel until you actually start a conversation.
Yeah. And it's not just little people, and it's my eyes have been open to a lot of different people with different disabilities, and people who they get called out because of anybody who gets called out for their appearance and stuff. I know dwarfism because I have a dwarfism, I'm only speaking from what I know, but a lot of people have similar issues or problems or whatever that dovetail in with that in some regard. And so I think it's interesting to just talk about it, and who knows where that can go from there.
Yeah. Anya.
Thanks for letting me commandeer the Zoom with us.
Christoph, it's that you mentioned that, when I was a little girl, they used to call me Skinny Minnie with the meatball eyes. I was a little girl in Maine, and I had no way to get it. I looked around, there were mountains all around me. I'm like, I need to get out of this place because nobody understands me here.
No,
so, yeah, and you know what, and then, personally, I have a glamorous style, but you got, it doesn't matter about looks. It's all about our inner thing and the time thing that I didn't get to join in, but a quick thing. Actually, I always try to avoid time. The only time I'm going to pay attention to time is if I have a show to do or they want me to be on set at 4 a.m. Hey, I have no problem with that. Other than that, avoid time, okay? That's my thing. But,
100%.
Millie, how about you? Because I know you're doing your dolls, but then again, I suppose because you're not doing mass production, because you work on your own creating your dolls, I guess you don't have to worry about the constraints of time too much, do you? In that way?
No, not really. But I'm a bit with Rebecca. I always feel that there's not enough hours in the day, and I think when you're really in the thick of the creative flows going and the sun's coming down and you've got to get up to wake your children up in the morning, I always feel that there's not enough time. And I'm a massive Jim Henson fan, and I know that he always felt that he didn't have enough time, and I think about him dying young and all of the things that he could have created. So sometimes, at first I was just like, just stay alive until season 3 comes out, just survive until that point. And then it just kept going, just survive until you get to meet, Rebecca and Kristen, and just survive until you get to go and do this. So, I don't really think about time. I think about events. So just survive until this can happen. But in terms of creativity, in terms of creativity, there's never enough time. Yeah.
I'm going to write that song if you don't mind.
There you go.
I'll write it with you.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
That's really beautiful.
I do sometimes try and sing like you, Rebecca. I fail miserably, but I do try.
Oh, you're beautiful. Thank you.
I can't hit those notes in Durando.
Yeah.
There's no point in me even trying.
Yeah, I just got to find the bathroom with the right acoustics and you'll sound amazing.
Right?
I don't know.
What?
I've been in a lot of bathrooms and none of them sound good when I sing in there. So I kind of feel like...
Have you cleaned your bathroom? That's what I want to know.
Bathrooms in London are so cool. I love the bathrooms in London. You get upstairs, there's always steps. Sometimes but it's so... You know what? Why everybody ran away from home to come to America? I don't know. I mean, what? You did not hear that. But, I mean, I think London is beautiful. I mean, I lived in New England at one point, so I can say that. Okay. Carry on. London are beautiful. I think
Can I just ask Rebecca, what do you think of Tasmania? I know you've been there a few times.
Oh, my gosh. Talk about, can I just segue into the time? There's never enough time to visit and see everything you need to see at the Mona
Yeah.
Museum. Yes, the best museum I have ever been to in my life. I've been there 30 times and still missed so much.
Yeah.
Never enough time.
Yeah.
Love Tasmania. I wish I were there now.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite places to go in all the world.
beautiful. Yeah.
It is so gorgeous. Thank you for asking me. And that's a perfect example of never enough time.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying. I don't know if you've been there, Christoph, but it's gorgeous. If you ever make it to Melbourne, because it's very close to Melbourne, you have to go to Tasmania and Hobart in that area where they have that museum. It is so gorgeous.
I've been to
And
Melbourne.
yes, yeah.
Where?
Tasmania, Australia.
Yeah, I ended up in like some warehouse party until 8 a.m. And then I went on
It
some.
happens. Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. You know.
Especially in Tasmania.
Listen, it was a good time. So,
Oh, cool.
and then I also went on the like I went down to Bells Beach and like took a tour down over there. So I don't know that I was in Tasmania though. Where exactly is
Tasmania is the little island, island city below Melbourne. So you would jump on a plane or a boat, go across the Bass Strait, and then there's a little island, and it's very, that sort of Pacific Northwest kind of feel. It's very green, lots of water. Because in Australia, you have just lots of vast space of just dry land, or it's pretty dry. Yeah. And then you get to Tassie, and it's just like Twin Peaks. I think it's as close to Twin Peaks as as Australia can get. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I agree, especially during the dark mofo.
Yeah,
It is so amazing. Thank you for asking.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Glad you love it.
I'd like to go there. I've never ever been to Australia, but I'd love to go.
Let's do a Zoom meeting there.
But I'm terrified.
Let's travel there and do Zoom meetings.
Yeah, let's just go there just to do a Zoom meeting to England.
Yeah.
We could all sit there together and figure out how to connect.
Frank, have your assistant Valerie set that up.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone mentions they don't want to come to Australia because of the spiders. It's really not that bad. I think I've seen one snake, little spiders. They're okay.
Millie is lying right now. She's lying so hard. She's seen one snake today from her window.
Yeah, I've only ever seen one snake, but we get huntsmans. They're about that big. But they eat all the nasty spiders, so I just name them, and then they become. So we've got Lenny in the kitchen at the minute, and he's just been doing rounds eating all the other spiders.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
That doesn't fill me with much confidence.
Yeah.
Lenny,
you name them, they become part of the family.
Well, I'm pretty sure I have a spider named Charlotte at my house. Oh, Charlotte's Web, yeah. I live in a house in the country.
There you go.
You said.
Besides Hollywood. I love Hollywood.
Oh, Hollywood's lovely. And the weather is lovely, too, right now.
I know. I saw David Lynch in his weather report.
Oh, yeah. That's right. He's doing them every day, yeah.
Oh, I keep in touch.
I've got, is that a fact for you? I hope you're ready for it. This is a random fact coming up. Blood donors in Sweden receive a text when their blood is used.
Really?
I'm going to go with yes.
Sure, why not?
No, it's meant to be a fact, man, so there's no multi-choice.
Yes, it does.
But, so if you never get the text, does that mean your blood was never used?
Really?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Probably they use it at some point. I don't know. I wouldn't want to know.
Apparently that's true, yeah. So Sweden, good on them. You get a text whenever your blood's used, which is something that we don't have over here. I guess you don't have it over there either.
No.
What's a bludgeon? What's he saying?
When you donate blood, Kathleen, you get a text to say your blood's being used in Sweden.
Your blood's being used.
If you donate
Yeah.
blood,
Oh, I thought you were talking about alien. Okay, I'm back to.
yeah, let's
okay,
talk
go
about
ahead.
aliens.
No, did not hear that.
And his blood.
If you don't ever get a text, does that mean your blood was never used?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
That's a good point, actually, Rebecca. I never thought of that. Yeah,
Like a
I'll,
toe tag? Or-
I'll
Does it have-
contact my Swedish representatives and find out for you.
Okay, so, all right.
It
A
gets,
tag.
I mean, I feel like the best way to figure this out is for one of us to go to Sweden and donate blood.
Right.
That's it. So what we'll do is we're
I
going to go on a
volunteer.
world tour.
Let's all
All right.
pitch in by
Sarah will do it. Sarah will do it.
Well,
I have-
let's all do it together if we're gonna do it. Okay, friends, okay? That could be multi.
Yeah,
We're going to go on a world tour. We're going to go to Australia, do a Zoom meeting there.
Right.
We're going to go to Sweden and do one
And
there.
then we'll get our blood.
And then we're going to
Hey.
get blood.
I'm
And,
down, Crocodile Dundee, Millie Moo, I'm down.
that would be an adventure.
Ah,
Thank
oh,
you so
this is great. What a better way to spend an evening. This is fantastic. I'm loving this.
I think so too.
This is great. So now I have, this is the big one. I need your full concentration. One of you, one of my guests is
One
about
of you.
is about to answer my 5 random questions.
Oh boy.
But who will it be as we go through the
Dun, dun, dun.
it's going around like that, and it's going to land on Kathleen Deming.
Yeah.
That's gotta happen. I preempted this. No.
Kathy, are you ready? Your first question.
Am I ready?
What music do you like to put on when you need motivation?
Could you repeat the question?
Certainly. What music do you like to play when you need motivation?
Oh my God, that is so hard. I'd go with Frank Sinatra Radio on Pandora and let it lead me from there.
Oh, yeah.
Good one.
Name a famous cat.
Garfield.
Garfield, yeah. Have you ever scuba dived?
No.
Uh,
Is there more?
would you like to go into space?
Been there, done that. Yeah. You. I'm just trying to be one of you, man. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
And your final question.
That's the best answer I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
What's the truth? Can you handle the truth?
Kathleen, your final question. Are onions overrated?
Well, you know what? It's that's very random because my oldest daughter, Desi DePasquale, you see me write about her. She, ever since she was a little girl, she loved to eat raw onions, and she like an apple. And my kids make onions with it. Onions, are they overrated? I think they're part of the spice of life.
Right.
And-
How's that?
And
my God.
has anyone got a mic that I can drop at this moment?
Got the mic.
I've got several.
Yeah. Hello, of course.
Yeah, Rebecca's got one right behind her.
Yeah, I've got a new Telefunken that I just got sent to me.
Don't drop that one. Yikes.
No. No.
I mean, drop it, but not, obviously not on the floor, but yeah.
That was
What is
great.
your mic of choice, Rebecca?
Thank you.
My mic of choice is a Biodynamic I bought in 1993 for $1,200, and it still is the best mic on the planet. But and I've actually had engineers and sound guys try to buy it off of me. They won't get rid of it.
Oh,
But I
they're all
have to
wondering.
say that Telefunken, the mic that I use to record crying in Spanish with David Lynch, also No Stars, that's the best recording mic, the Telefunken.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just got sponsored by Telefunken, and they gave me this really cool red mic.
Whoa! Congratulations.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I know, my first sponsorship. What?
Yeah.
What a cool company to endorse too.
Yeah, they're so cool.
That's amazing. And the history is like, I mean, those
I
old Telefunkens are incredible. That's
Oh, they're
so awesome.
incredible. Yeah, and when I sang to David, it was in his house in the theater in the studio, and I got up and started singing a cappella, just no mic. And then he said, wait, why don't you go in that room? And I've just fired up the Telefunken, and it's only like 4 of them in all the world. And sure enough, that's what captured what you hear in Mulholland Drive.
Wow.
And in
Cool.
Peaks of Return, same mic.
Wow.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
So Telefunken is awesome.
Yeah. That's so
Yeah, it's got a
cool.
beautiful sound. Yeah.
That is so awesome. I mean, drop the mic, forget about it. That mic knows you. That's part of you and knows
Right.
your voice going through.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that picture. I saw it. Oh, very nice. Very cool, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I want to know, you guys, for our final topic, what are your phobias? What do you fear most? Is it rational or irrational to have a phobia? Well, let's find out. In any order you want, who would like to start?
The mic right here.
Well, aside from spiders,
Hurry up. I mean, my phone charger. Hurry up. My phone charger. Hurry up.
Apart from spiders.
oh, I'm still going.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Apart from spiders, yes, phobias, to be scared, I think it's just a way of life. But lately, at least for the past like 5 years or so, I've tried to, get over myself, get out of my head. Just a couple years ago, I went to Cancun and like I took this drop off of like a mountain that's like 22 feet into water. So now I have these
That's awesome.
panicky fears of like, falling while I'm asleep, that fear of falling all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
So now like I can't even like, jump into anywhere because like that feeling, it haunts me, So I don't know if it's like a phobia, but anything that like pops out of my head, like that's something like that's new. It's like, I shouldn't be scared of this. I've done this before, but my heart just starts racing for no freaking reason. But like, I still don't regret it. It was still the most beautiful moment of my life.
That's
but,
awesome.
Feeling,
Yeah.
that you're, it's just like, stop, you're fine. You're in bed. It's okay.
Is that just because you're falling asleep, Sarah?
Yeah, like,
That's a
when you-
thing. That's a thing.
That is
yeah.
a thing, yeah.
Yeah, and so I get
I mean,
brain
sinking,
explosions. I get brain explosions, which I didn't know was a thing. But sometimes just as I'm falling to sleep, it sounds like someone shoots a shotgun near my head. Like it's a really loud bang and you kind of wake up and you realise it's in your head. But yeah, they're called brain explosions. So I have brain explosions.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't say I've had a brain explosion in a number of years, really. But, yeah.
Yeah. So you hear a really loud noise, and there's something similar with that falling feeling. I think it's your conscious catching up with your muscles or your nervous system or something. Yeah.
Wow.
So now
That's
I just
intense.
have like some fear of just like, falling, or like I wanted to go like, skydiving at some point when I was younger, but now I don't even think I can do that. So, but then again, it's just about getting out of your head, because in the
Yeah.
moment afterwards you don't regret it. It's just, whenever your body finally catches up, your fear finally catches up, whatever that little switch is, it turns on, and it's just, that part. I hate that part. But, at least, it means at least. You know, you can feel something. It's different from, you know, a normal day. So I try to like embrace my phobias, especially with even like something small as the, you know, spider, creepy crawly thing. But, you know, that's a tiny thing. I don't know if that's rational, but it depends on the situation. Rational, irrational. It's all in your head. So, yeah.
It is really, it's all in your head, really. Yeah.
When you're talking about it right now, I have a question. When you're talking about it right now, do you feel that anxiety coming up and your heart starts palpitating just by talking about it?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, yeah, right now. Because, like, I'm just remembering.
Yeah.
The memory, love it. But, like, my heart's like, let's not do that again. No.
Wow.
But my brain's like, it wasn't that bad. You know? So.
Yeah.
Scary.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah. What can you do?
How about you, Rebecca? What have you many phobias, Rebecca? No.
Wow. You know, I have done a lot in my life. I have faced a lot of different fears. When I was 3 years old, my dad bought this Indian. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's a motorcycle.
Oh,
It's
okay.
pretty cool. And I ran up to him and I went to hug my dad and I burned my little leg. I was 3 years old. I burned my little leg on the pipe. And forever I was afraid of motorcycles until about 1992 or 3, I decided to face my fears and I learned how to ride motorcycles. I went and took like skill courses. And I ended up with a Harley and I was like a little biker mama for a minute. I was afraid of horses because I'd fallen off of horses. So I went and I, with a friend started to do horse like shows and different things or like rodeo, team penning and different things, just like very minimal, but I faced my fears then. So oftentimes if I fear something, I will make time and make a real effort to conquer that fear. And with that said, there is one thing that I cannot conquer. And I've tried and I've tried. And every time I have to do it, and it's sometimes once a year, sometimes at the DMV, sometimes, and just thinking about it right now, I would like to cry. It drives me absolutely. It takes me to another place. I feel like I'm 4 years old and it's terrible. And you're probably going to think, wow, really? But this, I mean, I can pick up a spider. I can trap a rat. I can, so many things that people are afraid of, I can handle, but this thing, I can't handle it. And it goes back in my childhood because I was born with an eye problem and I had a surgery when I was 1 year old and I've had eye issues all my life and I really cannot stand. I can't take it going to the eye doctor. Just thinking about it right now, I just want to get up and run.
Wow.
It is such a phobia and it brings up this thing in me that I just get so nervous and so anxious and like I want to cry. I can't even, it's so hard to explain, but I thought about the question. I thought, well, I think I could just tell about the motorcycle thing and then, oh yeah, I prevailed. But it's not me. I like to tell the truth. So the truth is that I'm extremely afraid of eye doctors and eye tests. And I absolutely cannot take it when they do left, all right. This one or this one? 1 or 2, 3 or 4. I'm like, oh my God, I hate you.
That's Millie Moo's profile picture.
It is so horrible. It's so horrible that every single time I've cried. I sometimes just miss my appointment. If it happens to me at the DMV, I will fall apart because I can't see. I can't see it. And if they tell me, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I can see, but I have this thing called nystagmus. So my eyes dance. They do this. So sometimes, I don't know if you've noticed, maybe some of you that know me, maybe Christoph or something, I'll shake my head a little bit because it's my head aligning with my eyes moving. It's part of that little disease that I was born with. So it is and I was always embarrassed by it. So it comes up like a huge, huge phobia. And I've been to the point where I just won't get tested, and that's not good. You know, so this happens all the time. So I know I went over my time on that one, but
Oh,
just
no, not
thinking
at all.
about it makes me want to cry. It's awful. I hate it. And it's a
Yeah, I
true
can
phobia.
understand that.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a cure for it.
That to me sounds more like a very real, rational kind of fear, really. I think it's a real kind of
Yeah,
fear of
I'm just
something.
like, woo! It's even hard.
Anything
It's
like
even-
close to the eye, you know, makes people cringe if anything's coming at the eye or anything. You know, it's not.
oh,
That's me. That's
You know.
I can't. I've never been able to put in. I wear glasses. I've never been able to put in contacts. I tried about 2 years ago. A friend of mine he's an eye doctor and he has a practice. I can do the testing all day long. Like that doesn't bother me whatsoever. But his assistant was sitting there, you know, very patiently watching me attempt to put a contact in my eye. It's futile. It's like it's watching the dumbest thing on the planet is watching me put a contact in my eye because it just
I
I can't get close. It takes 3 people to put an eye drop in my eye. It's insane how awful it is. I just
Wow.
can't. My eyes are sensitive, I guess, and
No, it's not natural to stick things in your eyes. That's fine. Like, you're correct to not enjoy it.
I don't like it.
Okay, we've all seen that episode of Friends with Rachel. Okay, yeah, you're not the only one. So,
How about you, Kathleen? Have you got any things that any phobias?
Well, I do have one thing that occurs once in a while. I've been out so much that I love being home. And there were times in my life when I had a home, because I always didn't, that I had the fear of leaving my house, but I would have to go over it because like I had to get a job. I'd be like sweating and walk out the door for the first time. But once I did it, yeah. I know what it's called, I forget, but yeah, sometimes, well, it was when I was younger and like maybe changing jobs or something was happening in my life where I just, and I'm a Cancer, so I like to get under my bed and tuck my head in, and when I figure it's ready to get up and go out, that's when I do it. But it takes a lot of thinking. It could take me 3 or 4 days to walk out of my house. You know.
Wow,
Build up to it, yeah.
that's heavy.
Phobic? Is that the, maybe that's the
I can
term?
relate to that though, Kathleen. I can relate to that
Yeah.
a lot. About being isolating too much. I mean, right before COVID, you know, but just having a fear of going out sometimes, you know, facing the world out there is actually a real struggle, you know. That's a real thing. Well, I get that.
Frank, what is your phobia?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a phobia, but we were talking about that fear of falling earlier on, Sarah. You know, I think most of us have a fear of falling. I think that's quite a regular thing that happens well, we get it in dreams. We fall and then we wake up before we hit the ground. That's generally like a recurring dream. But yeah, falling. If I'm at the top of a height like a bridge or something, I have this overwhelming feeling of falling over it or descending, you know, if I get too close to the edge of it.
Yeah.
It's like this feeling of like wanting to let go and fall, but you can't. It's a really weird feeling. My stomach starts twisting around and
Yeah.
it's very bizarre. So that's the thing that gives me anxiety, but I was talking to someone tonight and even now, since I was a kid, I still have a fear of the dark. and I have to have a light on to go to sleep. I have to have a light in the hallway or the door open a bit with some light coming in. I can't sleep in total darkness.
Yeah, me too.
I can
Yeah.
get that. Like even when I go into like haunted houses or in my own house, like I can feel something. I cannot do dark. I just close my eyes. I'm like, I can't do this. Get me into the light.
Wow.
The dark is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I actually love the dark. I
Me
love the dark. I love the night. Although I cannot sleep without a TV on, because if somebody turns off the TV, I wake up because it's like somebody telling me a bedtime story all night. It's
Wow.
not a night light or a light on, but I don't know. I wake up immediately if somebody turns off one of my TVs, but
Yeah,
if I'm
I purchased blackout shades for a room that I lived in like years ago, just because the schedule is always so weird, or if I had
Millie, what's yours?
I don't know. I think the normal things like heights and finding hair in your food and getting bugs stuck in your ears. I would hate for a fly to go in my ear and be buzzing really loudly in my ear, and I couldn't do that.
I have but wait, what if you've named the fly previously?
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Damn,
then
it's
it's a
still-
friend. So
Yeah, we've had these really unseasonal flies, and I keep trying to make up my own conspiracy theory because you can't kill them with fly spray. So I whacked one the other day and 2 little bugs ran off of it. I've never seen that before. So I've decided that they're the pilots and that the flies are some sort of, I'm not sure, but yeah, we used to have a comedy show here, and it used to be 2 flies having a conversation. People dressed up as flies having a conversation in someone's ear, and that used to just terrify me. Terrified.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that just happened to me.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just
And it,
normal
feel,
phobias, I
and
think.
it feels like you're underwater. And
Yeah.
you have a lot of water in your ear because their little wings are, I don't think they want to be in there either.
No, probably not.
I hear the 2 voices, the 2 little things in my ears, but I'm not sure they're flies. By now, okay, but yeah, I get you.
Kathleen, we'd like to Zoom with them as well. Can you give them their own devices and put them on here? Because we want to find out what their phobias are, and we want to find out what their phobias are, and we want to find out their opinion on time. So if you can
Yeah.
get them in the Zoom meeting as well.
It's so funny.
And, yeah.
I'll try to invite them in. You never know when they're going to be around or what their schedule is, So.
Mm.
Copy that. We'll send them an email.
Schedule them out.
Nah, those voices have a tea date with the president. So just
Yeah, I heard them shout, but sometimes we forget to listen to them even when they're shouting. When they're shouting, we should really listen, That's a good thing. But in the meantime, I do what my heart tells me to do. I just walk through life and hope one of them is giving me the answer.
Yep.
don't go.
So what have people been doing to pass the time? Like, are there any projects on the go, or?
Are you talking to me?
Everyone.
Have you seen my Facebook? I'm restoring a 110-year-old house
Yeah,
that somebody gave me.
Wow.
I've never been this far away from Hollywood, but it's okay to have a little country house in upstate New York. And
Oh, wow,
once I
cool.
finish painting, you guys, you're all going to come visit, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, after our trip to Tasmania and London.
Sweden.
And Sweden. We gotta give blood in Sweden.
Halfway, I've got a passport.
Sweden. we're going to do a Zoom call from Australia. What else are we going to
Tasmania.
do? We've got a list of stuff, haven't we? We've got to do, yeah, on our world tour.
Valerie's got her work cut out for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah, what have you been doing to pass the time?
Me, aside from like sleeping and watching, just really avoiding watching the news.
Yeah.
I just got As You Like It. I'm trying to like brush up on my Shakespeare because I wanted to do like this Zoom kind of, you know, performance with a bunch of my actor friends since we're not able to like get together. So I just got that started. I'm going through like how that's gonna go, but aside from that, I'm just really enjoying the time I have with my family because they're gonna be retiring and going back to Kansas, and I'm not gonna be living in Kansas. I'm staying here in LA, so I'm just enjoying my time with them.
Wow.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Cool.
Rebecca, what
Yeah,
have you been doing?
What?
You know, that's pretty awesome. You know, I think I'm doing a lot, but you're doing Shakespeare? Okay. Wow. This girl got it going on. What? Oh, it's awesome. I have some old books, but one of my, can I interrupt? One of my favorite things is from Seabiscuit. It's one of my favorite movies. And I like oh God, I just forgot his name.
Tobey Maguire?
Never know, I'll say it real quick. We never know how high we are until we're called to rise. And then if we are true to form, our statues touch the sky. The heroism we recite would be a daily thing, did not ourselves the Cupid's war for fear to be a king.
Very nice.
Remember
Wow.
that from Seabiscuit? But I love that. Oh my God, I have the books right here of all these little books. I'll just blur it out later. Yeah, sorry, it just came up. You were talking about old books, and I have some in my house that came with my house. I found all these old books and all these old records and all these old autographed Hollywood pictures, and they're all in the basement, packed up, never been touched, and you know. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, Dickens. It was Dickens. Sorry. Oh, God, sorry. Dickens.
It was great. It was great, Kathleen. Thank you for that. It was nice. Yeah.
So have you been passing the time, Rebecca and Christoph? Sorry, Frank, just before I can get them to answer.
That's all right.
Well, I think it kind of answered it in my time answer, and then I also noticed that my microphone was literally right behind me.
Don't drop it.
Right? No, what the heck? But I did want to say that I actually, in February, I started recording in Nashville, and then I went to LA to work on it and do some background vocals on my recordings, and then I was on my way to Portland to do 2 sold-out shows, which then got canceled. And while I was supposed to be there, I was going to be with John Neff, who you all know,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And so that was in March. I was supposed to be finishing up my vocals and then mixing and mastering with John, and then you know, I had to book it back here into the studio here in Nashville, and then so in the process of doing every single other thing that I do all day, I've been trying to still mix and master these songs. So John and I just finished one, and then another friend of mine in LA finished another one. So that, I think, is one of the projects that I'm happy about right now.
Cool.
And they're finally, you know, ready to go. So I'm hoping to put those on vinyl.
Yeah, beautiful.
So
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I am looking forward to that. That's a nice silver lining with all that's going on. It's just been really, really, really hard for me and hard for so many people. And I really honestly wouldn't feel right if I didn't mention, what's happening in the world right now with the march and the protests and the police brutality and all of that. I mean, I'm very familiar with racism, and a lot of people are. You don't have, to necessarily be Black, being a woman, being someone, with a disability, and or being older or overweight or whatever, people discriminate against you. So I happened to write this song in that we finished this month or last month. I wrote it last year in Iowa while I was visiting the Maharishi University, and it's about the very thing that's happening today.
Yeah, wow.
And
That's
the
amazing.
song is called Adios. And I was saying, adios to the judgment, adios to the shame, adios to the pain and the way people make us feel, and let's just let go of things that don't serve us anymore. And it's the perfect song for now.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I'm going to go and let me release it right now. Right now, my efforts are trying to help people in the Black Lives Matter community and trying to help those people who are innocent, like children and women in the Black community and all colors. So I'm doing a lot of that too. So I think that for me is the most important thing.
I think that's beautiful.
I
That
love
is.
Thank you, Rebecca, for doing that.
And it
Yeah.
needs to be said. We are having a lot of fun, but we need to acknowledge that that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And we
And you
can
know
all make
what?
it different.
My grandson, my little 7-year-old grandson is actually, if you want to check off the list, he's white, Black, African-American, Guatemalan, American Indian, and French and Italian, okay?
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? So,
That's
when
amazing.
people go, how can I be more, what? Have you seen this cutie patootie? Forget about it.
Aw.
That's America right there. Well, America. I retract that. That's how the world should be.
Yeah.
Paris. Let's all be what, you can't stop love.
That's true.
That's it.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
The most important thing.
Love conquer.
And you know what? That's a rather neat way to end the show.
I love you. Thanks for having me.
By saying you can't stop love. I think that's a perfect ending, really. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Can't really add any more to that, can you? And we have covered everything anyway, so we're doing really well. All I can say is this has been a blast, I think, from start to finish, pretty much. And I've had a riot, really. I hope you all enjoyed it.
And I'd love to come back and join anytime. And I think Millie Moo should be a permanent fixture, like Johnny Carson and.
Beautiful.
Millie Moo's your role, Colleen. And all of you, it's great to talk to you. You know what? To be part of this family is something extraordinary. It's worldwide, and not everybody gets invited into this store. You know what? I'm happy to be friends with all of you.
Yeah.
And you, I owe you a drink.
I'm just going to assume that you were pointing at me. So, okay, cool.
She's going to show up at your house.
That's all right. That's cool. If you bring a drink, I got a beer, so we can split it. It's all good.
Just one. What day is it? Okay. I might be able to coach.
It's 5 o'clock
Okay.
somewhere. It's 10 a.m. somewhere.
Hey, time doesn't matter.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Lord.
And so we have to show up for Frank Kognog's next show.
There you go.
Yes. Been amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Thanks, everybody.
Nice job, y'all.
Bye, darling.
See you all soon.
All of you.
You might want to shut me off.
Thank you. We're all going to be shuffled off at the same time when the meeting ends. Sorry.
Gee, thank you. You know, hey man, I just want to come in and do the script. I don't want to prepare the show. Okay, I did. Hey, I did pretty good for a non-technology person, but finally, thank you. Thanks for the patience. Love you guys. Bye.
It's been
Muchas
fun.
gracias.
Love y'all. We'll see you. Stay safe out there.
Adios.
Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Adios. Bye,
And
y'all.
we will be back for another Lodge Lockdown very soon. Until then, au revoir.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Silencio.